I used Imperial Rome as the model for my legion precisely because it was so foreign, so alien. It dedicated its citizens to something higher than themselves, to the idea of Rome itself. If mankind's going to survive this moment in history, it needs warriors. In Rome, I found a template for a society equal to the challenges of the post-apocalyptic world, a society that could and would survive. I don't have to explain the reasoning behind my commands. I just give them, and you do them. I may tell you more at a later time, if it suits me. It's Hegelian dialectics, not personal animosity.
It's weird that I haven't covered this commander already. I felt like I already did, but I didn't really. I did explain him in my All Fallout Legends Explained video, which you should go watch if you want to. I think it's a really good video. It's one of my favorites, and it never really got a lot of views. So if you want to know more about the commander I'm going to be talking about today, which is Caesar, I definitely recommend checking out that video. Caesar, Legion's Emperor.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion.
But otherwise, I'm going to show you guys my Caesar deck, which I've just finished building recently. I got some help from my live stream not so long ago, finishing it up. Those guys are great. Definitely check out the live streams if you've never checked one out before. They're super fun. And if you want more Legends Explained videos like this one, I haven't done one in a while. I don't know, it seemed like it was petering out on the channel. People weren't into it. But if you want more, comment, like, subscribe, and let me know if that's something you want. And I will definitely do more of them when more Legends come up that are worth explaining. But yeah, that's enough preamble. Let's just jump into it. With my Caesar deck. I fooled you. There's nothing in this deck. It's just an empty box. I've tricked you all. Alright, first let's start with our commander, Caesar, Legion's Emperor. So, Caesar has some cool abilities. I'll go ahead and just read the whole card to you real quick. Caesar is a 4 mana, 1 a red, a white, and a black for a 4/4 legendary creature, human soldier, with the following ability. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose 2. Create 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking. You draw a card and lose a life, and Caesar, Legion's Emperor, deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control a target opponent. So we have our early game token construction with his first ability. He gives us some card advantage, which is usually what we'll be choosing early game. And to finish off the game, we'll make a bunch of tokens and just dome an opponent straight to the face with his final ability. It's the quintessential Marduk commander, and I've had so much fun building it, so let's jump into the main deck. Alright, let's get started with our 1-drops. First we got Haunt of the Dead Marshes. This card was recommended to me on my last live stream. Thanks guys, I really appreciate it. This is reusable sack fodder and it is fantastic. Then we have Lunarch Veteran. It's incidental life gain, and it's reusable at least once with its Disturb mechanic. And then we have Esper Sentinel, beautiful retro frame border I picked up from my LGS. It's Esper Sentinel. You're going to run Esper Sentinel in any deck you can run Esper Sentinel in. It's a fantastic card. And that'll do it for our 1-drops. Going on over to our 2-drops, we have Butch Deloria, Tunnel Snake. I'm going to get some of these more less exciting ones out of the way first. Butch Deloria is here because it's a flavor card. I love Butch Deloria. It's one of my favorite things from Fallout 3. It's not fantastic in the deck, but it's sitting there. It's not the worst, you know? Menace is always nice. Loyal Apprentice, it makes us tokens that we can sack. It also makes artifact tokens, which can be relevant. It's also a human, which is typoing. Could matter. Then we have General's Enforcer. One of my favorite cards in the set, not because the card's super fantastic, it is really good, but I love this NCR Ranger on the art. It really does it for me. But yes, it does protect our commander, and it also is incidental graveyard hate, which is nice to have in any card. McCready's a card that I keep hearing people say we should cut from a Caesar deck, but I disagree entirely. Giving our tokens that we just make Shulk is absolutely fantastic, and the incidental life loss from your opponents when they try to attack you is not irrelevant. Plus, it in and of itself is a human, which is cool typo stuff. Meaner Harker is a human soldier, perfect typo. It slows down our opponents. We do cast some non-creature spells, but we're really focused on dropping creatures and having the synergies there, so this really slows down our opponents more than us. Absolutely great card. Gary Clone makes clones of himself, and those clones are tokens, and those tokens are great for us. We love seeing more tokens on board. And yeah, also it's a great attacker. Marionette Apprentice is an absolute all-star in this deck. One of the best new cards from Modern Horizons 3 to go into this deck. That Fabricate mechanic's nice, it gives us an incidental token, but sacking our creatures and then just causing our opponents to lose life gradually is absolutely stunning. Plus, if they board wipe us, they sometimes get domed for 10, which is great. Then we have Sky Knight Vanguard. It makes tokens. Kari Zev is reusable token generation. We always are going to have that monkey. Every time we attack Kari Zev, we can sack the monkey and then get more tokens. It's absolutely great. Shai Cormac, stopping those Avacens is relevant. Sometimes we need to be able to just like shoot the Avacens with some of our abilities, and we can't. But, you know, now we can. We have Shai Cormac. Absolutely fantastic. Then we have Securitron Squadron. It makes tokens, and it buffs our stuff. Renzo Havoc Razor, the MVP of the 2-drops. Being able to just goad all of an opponent's creatures in which you are trying to get through on the following turn and just finish them off. Renzo just does the work. The other ability doesn't even matter. The fact that it's not a human doesn't matter. It's just that good. And that's going to do it for our 2-drops. Now we're on to our 3-drops. We've got Mayhem Devil. We're going to be sacking a lot of things. We'll be able to ping off some of the mana dorks and useful utility creatures. This card's great. Mentor of the Meek draws us so many cards. We always have a little bit of extra mana, so when we make our tokens with Kaisar, we just are drawing a lot of cards. This card is fantastic. Altar Arthur Maxon gives our creature tokens training, which is so good. Oh man, it is absolutely phenomenal. Our tokens get out of hand so quick because of this card. And yeah, we can make him indestructible, makes him a good blocker. Paladin Elizabeth Taggarty can sneak out a bunch of our stuff after a while. It's pretty good. It's mostly in here for flavor. I really like Taggarty. One of the few things I like from Fallout 76. Then we got Boomer Scrapper. It's fine. It incidentally gets bigger, which is cool. It also gives us junk tokens, which is impulsive card draw, which is not too bad. It's not the best card, but it's here. I'm looking, this one might be a cut after a while. Legion Warboss. Tokens. Makes us more tokens, makes us more things to sack. Colonel Autumn. The lifelink on this is way more important than I thought it was going to be. Any card with lifelink in this deck is pretty good. We do end up doing a little bit of damage to ourselves using Caesar's ability. And yeah, this card just kind of does everything else you also want to be doing. It makes our creatures bigger, professional facebreaker, impulsive card draw, and like treasure. It's not bad. It's also a human, Tyble. Morbid Opportunist. Draw some more cards. We're going to be sacking things at least once a turn using our commander's ability. This lets us draw cards. Great card. And the MVP of the 3-drop is going to be Craig Boone. This ability, the doming a creature or doming an opponent to the face ability, works way more often than you would think. Plus, again, lifelink, and seeing lifelink on any card in this deck is a welcome addition. And now we're on to the 4-drops. We've got Wasteland Raider. It's Flashbag Marauder, but sometimes it's Flashbag Marauder a lot of times, which is really good. Sierra, Nuka's biggest fan. Cards not that great, but it is one of the reasons I actually wanted to go back to building this deck. I think this art is absolutely stunning. It's one of my favorite pieces of art from the Fallout set. And Sierra is so cool. I love her in Fallout 3 and 4. Another recommendation from the live stream is Faramar Field Commander. This card is great. We are going to be sacking things every turn, so we're going to draw some cards. The Ring Temptu stuff literally never happens, but you know, it's also a human soldier, so typal stuff. Keeper of the Accord, one of the best cards in any white deck you can be playing, honestly. It ramps you, it makes you white soldiers, it does everything you want to be doing. Rose, Cutthroat Raider. This one's here because I also like Rose from Fallout 76. Not a huge Fallout 76 fan, but when I see a couple of characters I actually genuinely like, I want to throw them in the deck, and this is one of them. The junk tokens are fine. That's about it. It's here because I like it. It's a really pretty Surge foil. Company Commander. Really good. It gives our teachers Death Touch. Instantly just going to create us 3 white soldier tokens when it ETBs. So many things to sacrifice. So good. Kalidas is weird token generation and also graveyard hate against our opponents. Also it has lifelink, and again, I'll keep saying it, you do want to have some amount of lifelink in this deck. You are going to lose some life using Caesar's ability and just generally playing the game. It's pretty good. Pitiless Plunderer creates tokens, creates treasure tokens specifically, and that's ramp, and we're going to have things die all the time. Absolutely knockout card. Drina Kudrow. I wanted to give this MVP of the 4-drops, but I got like 2 cards that I think are kind of possibly better. But this one's really great. It's going to create us usually at least 1 token, but other humans you control get +2/+0 is really good. It's also a human soldier for typal stuff. Super cool. One of the other cards I considered as MVP of the 4-drops is Headliner Scarlet. I really like Headliner Scarlet. It gives us a free attack when it ETBs, and it gives us some impulsive draw, which is really cool. But the actual MVP of the 4-drops is Muriel, Shield of Argive. This card is Absolutely bonkers. You know how good it is. This is one of the more popular mono white commanders for good reason. It grant abolishers and it creates us a bunch of tokens. Cards nuts. And that's going to do it for our creatures. Now we're going to go into our enchantments, starting with the Battle of Hoover Dam. You are always picking the NCR side of this battle, like no matter what. Just be able to get back things we're going to be losing or sacking, or feel more free to sacrifice different things with Kaisar is absolutely the way to go. Fervent Charge. Not only is this card really good because it's making all our tokens big threats, it has an NCR Ranger on it, and I love Rangers. Assemble the Legions here because it has Volpez and Coulter on it. You should probably be playing Arrest Forge, I'm not going to lie to you. The White Soldier tokens that this creates is pretty good, but you should probably be playing Arrest Forge. That card's better, but Volpez and Coulter is here, and we're playing that because it's a Kaisar deck. Then we have Grim Reaper Sprint. Everyone knows how good this card is. 2 mana, extra combat, buff a creature. It's just really good. Then we got Black Market. Black Market is good. Creatures die all the time. It's 5 mana to get it out, which is kind of the problem. But, you know, we are going to be losing a lot of creatures, and it's anyone's creatures, so this is pretty good. We never really need that much mana, but it is useful for some spells that we'll be able to finish out games with. Intangible Virtue, really good card. +1/+1 to our tokens and vigilance. No complaints there. Bastion of Remembrance. I mean, it's doing that same thing we want to be doing at Marionette Apprentice, where it's going to be draining our opponents, which is nice, and it's going to gain us some life instantly, which is good. And honestly, the MVP of the enchantments is Caretaker's Talent. Brand new card from Bloomborough, but it draws us cards, it copies our tokens, and it buffs our tokens later on, and it gives us something to do with our extra mana throughout the turns. Really good card, insane. Next, we'll go into our instance. First, we've got Deflecting Palm, which is actually an artist proof from my buddy Ross. You've seen him on the channel before. Thanks, Ross. This card actually won me a game the other day. Deflecting Palm is really good. It lets you just get the drop on an opponent who's about to finish you off, and then probably opens you up to survive another turn. Vats is a card that I don't think is as good as it reads, but the split second makes it so I can't cut it from this deck. Also, it's Vats, and this is Fallout. Terminate, it's Terminate. Got the cool Assassin's Creed one, I guess. Deadly Dispute. I mean, we want to be sacking stuff, and we don't really care if our creatures die that much. Wear Tear, really, really good. Being able to just get rid of 2 problems on board at instant speed is absolutely fantastic. Chaos Warp, it's Chaos Warp. This one I got the cool Brahmin art, and you know, it's full art, extended foil, whatever, really nice. And the actual MVP of the instance is Entrapment Maneuver. This card absolutely slaps, especially if you're playing against a Voltron deck. You feel so bad. It just does the work. I've gotten literally 23, I think 23 was the highest number I got off of this card when I had made an opponent sack a big Voltron up commander. Very cool. Then we have our sorceries, and you're going to notice a little bit of a theme with all our sorceries. So we have Austere Command, which is a board wipe and a very good one. I've got the cool Surge foil one. Very nice. Then we've got a Farewell. It's also a cool foil, and it does very similar things to Austere Command. Then we have Ruinous Ultimatum. Can you guess what this is? It's also a board wipe. And then we have the 2 things that aren't just board wipes. This one's Torment of Hailfire. It's not necessarily a board wipe, but a lot of the times it's a board wipe. And then the actual MVP of the sorceries is Martial Coup. It's another board wipe, but it lets us repopulate our board a little bit, which is fantastic. Then we got our artifacts. It's a pretty standard package. We're running Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Hierarchy, Talisman of Indulgence, Talisman of Conviction, Felwar Stone, and of course, Skull Clamp. What token deck's complete without it? And finally, we'll get on to our lands. I normally don't go through lands, but since this is a showcase, I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, just to show you guys what I've got. So for our Orzhov lands, we got Shattered Sanctum, Godless Shrine, Bright Climb Pathway, Caves of Koilos, Vault of Champions, and a Surge Foil Isolated Chapel. For our Rakdos lands, we've got Blood Crypt, Sulphur Springs, Surge Foil, Dragon Skull Summit, Mount Doom, thank you Itsoya, and Haunted Ridge. For our Boros lands, we've got Sacred Foundry, Hatsune Miku Inspiring Vantage. That's in here because it's Hatsune Miku Inspiring Vantage, not because fast lands are good in Commander. Don't play them. Sundown Pass, and Clifftop Retreat. For our 3-color / fetch lands, we've got Wooded Foothills, Storage Foil, Terramorphic Expanse, Post Malone, Fable Passage, Polluted Delta, Shadow Landscape, Windswept Heats, Bloodstained Mire, Command Tower, Path of Ancestry, and Savai Triome. For our single color producing non-basic lands, we have Arena of Glory. This card absolutely slaps. I need to get this in foil as soon as possible. And Witch Blessed Meadow, which on the other side is, of course, Witch Enchanter. This card also slaps. Before I show you my colorless lands, I just want to say I'm running a land in my colorless slot that's not actually good in the deck, but you know, it's thematic. And so we've got War Room, Wasteland, and Wastes. Now I know Waste doesn't do a single thing for the deck, but man, isn't Vault Boy so adorable? Then we got our basics to round this out. We got 2 of each art. We got 2 plains. We've got 2 swamps. And of course, we have 2 mountains. And yeah, I guess that'll about do it. That is the Kaizar deck. It's super fun. It's super rad. I love playing it. I didn't think I'd really enjoy a Mardu Tokens Commander. I've had some in the past that I didn't really enjoy as much. This has been one of the most fun decks to play. I took it to Dragon Con recently, had a lot of fun with it there. I've been playing on my LGS, and it's just fantastic. If you want a really good Mardu Commander deck, or Mardu token specifically, this is the one I'd recommend. But yeah, that's gonna about do it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. I'm Courier 6 of the Kaladesh Express, your #1 source for Universes Beyond, Commander, and all things Magic the Gathering, and always true to Kaizar.